Okay, so here's how a conversation went last week. A founder told me, and I quote, that he had no idea what actually happens during a smart contract audit. He was about to spend $20,000 on one, and he didn't know what he was buying. Let me ask you something. If you're watching this video, that's probably you too, isn't it? Or at least someone on your team. It's okay, he's not alone. Most founders don't know either. They sign the contract, they hand over the code, and then they wait. 3 weeks, 4 weeks, hoping that whatever happens behind the curtain is worth what they paid for. I'm Carlos, I'm the founder of Zealynx Security. We've audited over 41 protocols, and in the next 12 minutes, I'm going to walk you through exactly what happens during a smart contract audit, week by week, what we do, when we do it, why it matters. By the end of this video, you're going to know more about what you're actually buying than 90% of the founders who hire us. I'm also going to tell you the one thing nobody mentions about week 2, the part that separates real auditors from the rest. And I'll show you the exact red flag in week 3. That means your audit firm cut corners. Stick with me. This is going to be useful. Real quick before we dive in. If this is the kind of video that would have helped you a year ago when you were trying to figure all this out, hit the like button right now. It tells YouTube to show this to other founders who need it. That's all. Cool, let's get into it. Okay, first thing I want to clear up, and it's going to surprise you. Most founders think the audit starts the moment they sign the contract. It doesn't. The week before any code gets reviewed, that's actually the most underrated part of the whole process. And here's the kicker. Almost none of it is the auditor's job. It's yours. Let me show you what I mean. 3 things should happen in this pre-audit week. Just 3. 1. You and the auditor agree on scope, in writing, which contracts, which files, which functions, what's in, what's out, written down, signed off, no vibes. 2. You hand over the commit hash, not a branch, a specific commit hash that locks in the version being audited. Once it's set, you stop pushing changes to it. This is called a code freeze. And listen, I cannot stress this enough. If you keep merging features mid-audit, the auditor is reviewing a moving target. And that, my friend, is how bugs slip through. 3. You provide documentation, a short readme, architecture diagrams if you have them, a threat model, basically what attacks you are worried about. The more context the auditor has on day 1, the more time they spend finding real bugs, instead of figuring out what your code is even supposed to do. Now, quick tip most founders don't know about, and honestly, it can save you thousands of dollars. Before you send your code to an auditor, run a free security scanner over it yourself. At Zealynx, we built one called Crate. It's free. It catches the kind of issues a tool can catch in minutes. Why does this matter? Simple. The human auditor isn't spending your money finding bugs a scanner could have flagged in 5 minutes. They spend it on the bugs only a human can find. Pre-audit weekends with a kickoff call. 45 minutes. You walk the auditor through your architecture. They ask questions, you answer them. Then, the real work starts. And you're about to learn what most auditors will never tell you about week 1. Want to know what surprises every founder I've ever worked with? In week 1 of an audit, we're not really finding bugs yet. Wait, what? Yeah. We're not finding bugs, we're reading. That's the work. A senior security researcher opens your code base and goes through it the way a novelist reads a book. Slowly, carefully. Taking notes. What does each contract do? How do they call each other? Where does money flow in? Where does it flow out? What state does each function modify? And critically, what are the trust assumptions? Who's allowed to do what? This is also when we run our tooling. Static analyzers like Slither, symbolic execution, our own internal tools. We let the machines surface the easy stuff, while the humans build a mental model of your system. Because here's the truth, and I want you to write this one down. You cannot find a sophisticated attack in a system you don't understand. By the end of week 1, the auditor knows your code better than most of your engineers do. And sometimes, I've seen this many times, better than you do. That's the foundation. Everything that comes next depends on it. But week 2 is where it gets interesting. Watch this. Okay, week 2. The researcher has read everything. They understand the system. And now they start asking the question that defines our entire job. Pay attention to this question. It's the whole game. What if I were trying to break this? How would I do it? This is where the manual deep review happens. And let me tell you, it's not glamorous. It's a researcher sitting in front of a screen for 8 to 10 hours a day, asking variations of the same question about every function in your codebase. What happens if a user calls this function with 0? What happens if they call it with the maximum integer value? What happens if two users call it at the same time? What happens if a malicious contract is calling it instead of an EOA? What happens during a flash loan? What happens when the Oracle price spikes? What happens when this admin role gets compromised? Most of those questions lead nowhere. The code handles them correctly. Good. But every once in a while, a question leads somewhere the developer never anticipated. And that's a finding. I want to drive this point home, because it matters. The bugs that train protocols for millions, they are almost never found by a tool. They are found by a person who sat with your code long enough to see what you couldn't see when you wrote it. Stop, read that again, because that one sentence right there is the difference between a real audit and a fake one. Quick warning before we move on. During week 2, expect questions from your auditor, sometimes a lot of them. And this is a good sign. It means they're actually reading. A silent auditor in week 2, big red flag. They're either not engaged or they're not deep enough yet to even know what to ask. And speaking of red flags, there's one specific one in week 3 that tells you your audit firm cut corners. I'll show you in 60 seconds. Okay, week 3. The researcher has a backlog of findings. Now every finding goes through a structured process before it ever hits your inbox. Let me walk you through what that looks like. There are exactly 4 steps. First, the finding is documented. Title, description, vulnerable code snippet, impact, proof of concept if it's exploitable. Second, severity is assigned, critical, high, medium, low, informational. And listen, severity is not vibes based, it's a matrix. Impact times likelihood. We use the same framework on every audit, so a high on your report means the same thing as a high on someone else's report. Third, a recommendation is written, not just this is broken. Specifically, how to fix it, the code change, the trade-offs, what to watch for after the fix. Fourth, and this is the red flag I mentioned, so pay attention. Every finding gets peer-reviewed inside the firm. Another senior researcher reads it, pushes back if something doesn't hold up. If your audit firm doesn't do this 4th step, that's how false positives end up in your report. That's how your auditor looks like an amateur in front of your team. That's the cut corner. Real firms peer review. Always. Ask them about it before you sign. By the end of week 3, you receive a draft report. That's your first look at what was found. Quick heads up. This is also when most founders panic for the first time. It's normal. It's okay. Every protocol has findings. Even the best teams. Even the most carefully written code. And here's a counterintuitive one for you. Ready? If your report comes back with 0 findings, be suspicious, genuinely. It probably means the auditor didn't look hard enough. The goal isn't a clean report. The goal is to know everything that's wrong, so you can fix it before users do. Alright, quick check-in. You're about halfway through this video. If you've watched this far, you're already ahead of most founders who hire us. Honestly. But the next 5 minutes, that's where it gets real. Because I'm about to tell you the one thing that separates real audit firms from the firms that take your money and run. Stick with me. This part might save you $20,000. Now, after the draft report drops, the ball is back in your court. You go through the findings, you fix what needs fixing. Sometimes that takes 3 days. Sometimes 3 weeks. Depends on how deep the issues run. Then, you send the patches back to the auditor, and this is where a real audit firm earns its money. The fix verification round is a second review. The auditor takes your patches, and they ask 3 questions. Did they actually fix the bug? Is the fix complete, or does it leave an edge case open? And the killer, did the fix introduce a new vulnerability? Yeah, let that one sink in. I have seen fixes, and I mean this, that patched a critical vulnerability and created a different critical vulnerability in the process. Without a fix verification round, nobody catches it, it ships, it gets exploited. So here's where I'll be blunt with you. At Zealynx, fix verification is included by default, every audit, no exceptions. If your auditor charges extra for it or doesn't offer it at all, you don't have an audit, you have half of one. Once verification is done, the report is updated, each finding gets a final status. Acknowledged, fixed, partially fixed, not addressed. That's the document you show your investors, your users, your board. Okay, quick pause. If this video is genuinely useful to you so far, if any of this is changing how you're going to approach your next audit, do me one small favor, hit subscribe. I make videos like this every couple of weeks, all from the auditor's side of the table. No marketing fluff, just the stuff founders actually need to know. And the next video, it's the one you're going to want to see. Okay, back to it. When the audit is fully closed, here's what lands in your inbox. A final PDF report. Usually 20 to 80 pages depending on findings. Inside that report, let me give you the exact checklist, 6 things. An executive summary your non-technical co-founders can actually read. A summary table of all findings sorted by severity. A detailed write-up of every single finding. What it is, where it is, why it matters, and how it was fixed. A scope section so anyone reading later knows exactly what was reviewed. And, just as important, what wasn't. The commit hash of the audited version, and a signed attestation from the firm. That last piece, that's what your investors will ask for. That signed attestation tied to a specific commit hash, that's what makes the audit verifiable. Anyone in the world can check that the code running on chain matches the code that was reviewed. You'll also get the right to display the firm's badge. Audited by Zealynx Security, on your website, linked to the public report. That's a trust signal users actually look for now. Use it. Alright? Before we wrap up, let me save you some pain. 3 things founders consistently get wrong with audits, and I see them every single week. I'm going to give you all 3 in the next 90 seconds. 1. They wait too long to engage an auditor. Good firms book out 4 to 8 weeks in advance. If you're 3 weeks from launch and you haven't booked an audit, you're either delaying launch or you're rushing the audit. Both are bad. Rule of thumb. Talk to a firm the moment you have a stable feature set, not when you're done coding. The moment you have a stable feature set. 2. They keep pushing code during the audit. Code freeze means code freeze. I cannot stress this enough. If you discover a feature you forgot, either add it to the next audit or accept that everything new is unreviewed. Don't make us re-audit work we already did because you couldn't wait 2 weeks. 3. And this one's the killer. They treat the audit as a checkbox. The audit is not the goal. Security is the goal. The audit is one signal in a system that also includes testing, fuzzing, monitoring, bug bounties, incident response. A great audit is the start of your security posture, not the finish line. Founders who get that, who treat the audit as a partnership instead of a transaction, they get 10 times more out of it than the ones who don't. Be the first kind. Okay, time to wrap. If you have a protocol that needs an audit, or honestly, if you're just trying to figure out what one would actually cost and take, go to Zealynx.io, click Request Audit, tell us about your project. You'll get a proposal back within 8 hours, clear scope, named auditors, realistic timeline, no vague, maybe this could cost anywhere kind of nonsense. And one more thing, if you want to get a head start on the issues a scanner can catch, try Crate, it's free. Crate.zealynx.io, run it on your code, fix what it finds, and you'll save real money when the human audit starts. Now, next video. This is the one I've been getting asked about for months. Should you audit before launch or wait until after? Most founders get the timing wrong, and it costs them. I'm going to walk you through the exact framework I use with every client to help them get it right. It's a yes or no decision tree. Takes about 10 minutes, and it'll save you from one of the most expensive mistakes in Web3. If you haven't subscribed yet, now's the moment. So that one lands in your feed the day it drops. See you there.